Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to expose the ignorance of Christians and how Facebook hides comments. All of this came about because I left a comment to Matt Walsh on a Ben Shapiro post on Facebook, which you will see in front of you. Surprisingly, I haven't ended up in Facebook jail yet. But I did get one Christian to give me a shining example of how Christians do not read their Bible and how they love their straw man. And just as a bit of additional detail, Matt Walsh has not responded at all to what I had said to him. What I had said to Matt Walsh was, "So I guess this means you regard a wife as property, no different than an animal. How morally bankrupt of you." Because he had tried acting like the Ten Commandments were so wonderful. Then I had this Shane Weeks say this, "Where do you get that idea? ? It's definitely not in the Bible." But sure, you've just never read it. Only bits and parts, out of context. And then you think you're so smart, mocking God and His Word. Let me point out, this is another case of projection. Shane Weeks is accusing me of never having read the Bible, of only having read bits and pieces, out of context, so forth. Yet, what you will see, because I'm going to show you my posts as well, because that displays how Facebook hides comments, because I wouldn't see the comments from Shane. It took a lot of looking on Facebook to find where he replied to me. What I had pointed out to Shane was that what I said is written in the Bible. Then I went on to give book, chapter, and verse, which I always do, as this is the quickest way to silence their claims of something not being in the Bible. Remember, atheists, I have said in other videos that when you come out as an atheist, you will be attacked, and that your best weapon against Bible thumpers is the very Bible they want to thump. Remember, they do not read it, so it is very easy to grab them by the ear and shove their face in the Bible they do not read. I pointed out to Shane Weeks that what I said is in the Bible, and I even quoted it for him. Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's." Pointing out that yes, it is in the Bible, and that a wife is put on par with slaves, as well as animals and property. I then went after his out-of-context assertion, with rubbing his nose in how God called rape humbling a woman, how God endorsed forcing a raped woman to marry her rapist, and asked him what context makes either of those a good thing. Which, as you will see, he quickly moved away from that line of attack and on to what I call the meme Christian. I had also asked him, how does what I say mock God? I wasn't mocking the God of the Bible. So I asked him, is God Matt Walsh? Which, as you probably figured out, went completely ignored. When you nail someone dead to rights and they know it, they will not admit you got them. Instead, they will change their attack to a different direction, which is exactly what you see. He then tried a burden of proof claim, which was entirely unfounded, as I hadn't made any claim that required I give proof or that I didn't provide. Remember, I had quoted his own Bible to prove what I originally said was actually there, and even went on to serve him with a second bitch slap in the same reply. His next two posts are what I call the meme Christian. This can also be called the troll approach, as memes typically do not address what someone is saying, but are only an attempt to shotgun insults, as if doing this means you win the internet. Well, I shut this down in quick fashion, as you will see. He claimed, Greg, burden of proof is on you. I have his word. If you won't believe it, that's on you. Before getting to his memes, let me set fire to this straw man he is attempting to make. Number one, I didn't make any claims that I didn't give proof for. Number two, thus far, I have not said I am an atheist. I only pointed out how morally bankrupt it is to call a wife property. For all Shane Weeks knew, I could be a Christian, just one that is aware of the questionable nature of the God of the Bible. Number three, acting as if the Bible is some kind of evidence is laughably absurd. That is no different than a Harry Potter fan thinking the books or movies in that series are evidence of fairies, elves, wizards, or magic being real. In fact, given I had already served him with a double helping of a Bible sandwich, it didn't surprise me that he wanted to try and avoid having another Bible sandwich shoved down his throat. Both his memes show the massive stupidity from which he, as a Christian, thinks science works. I realized I was dealing with a mental midget, so I held back on serving him with some of the ancient alien ideas of the Sumerian stories of the Anunnaki. I did mention this briefly at one point, but this was far more intellectual than I felt he was capable of conversing on, so I left it at pointing out that the original creation myths came from the Sumerians, and that the original Noah was the Epic of Gilgamesh. Yes, both of these can be called historical references, not religious-based ones. I had also pointed out that there are multiple definitions of nothing in science, even posting a link to a video that I made on my main YouTube channel where I covered the subject of nothing. I knew this was probably far more intellectual than he could be, but I wanted to toss it out there on the off chance of getting his two brain cells to make contact and actually producing a spark. This didn't happen, as you will see. His first meme, however, is stupid, because it is claiming to know something to which you have no evidence to support. Ironic, given he posted this with his burden of proof assertion. Almost like deep down he knew he was making an assertion which required proof as to how you could know this. But that would require him being far more intelligent than his posts even suggest is possible. While his second meme was what sparked me to slap him with the nothing versus absolute nothing video. I will have a link to that video in the description section below for those that want to check that video out. What shut down his meme crap was where I hit him with, seriously stupid, memes are the best you have? The idea that atheism requires anything about existence shows you simply do not grasp what atheism is. Atheism is simply the disbelief in God or gods. I could elaborate on these things, but from your meme mentality, I suspect telling you would be like trying to teach a monkey calculus. What you see before you is the last attempt he made. Probably because this got him served with multiple Bible sandwiches that he was not prepared for, as well as a question I knew he wouldn't answer. I must admit, everything about this had me laughing, and even making my proverbial mouth water at all of the Bible sandwiches I would hit him with. Greg, your science is a joke. Killing babies is murder, and you, depraved, know the truth of that matter. How about your so-called science thinking a man can become pregnant? Or be a woman for that matter. But you stick with your man-made bullshit science. I'll stick with the truth of God's word. You can cuss and boo-hoo and mock and bully all you want, but deep inside you know the truth. Just admit it, you hate God. I mean, you and I know if there is a God, neither I nor you are him. Thanks for proving once again that a depraved mind is a cruel thing. Only a fool says there is no God, and therefore I answer to you only to your own folly. All right, there's a lot of stupid in there, and there's a lot of assumption tied into that. In comments to him, I had completely ignored the how your so-called science thinks a man can become pregnant, or be a woman for that matter. I completely ignored that because that is not what science says. There is no scientific paper that has ever been published, let alone peer-reviewed, that states such stupid dribble. This is the moronic way Christians want to act. They want to act as if, unless you're a Bible thumper like them, and as stupid as they are, that you're buying into the liberal left's insane bullshit. I guess to someone like Shane Weeks, his little brain would explode hearing that I'm a conservative atheist. Just because I'm an atheist doesn't mean I'm liberal. Doesn't mean I'm going along with everything the loony fucking left wants to say, or wants to think, or wants to push. That is just fucking stupid. Only a goddamn moron would think, just because I don't believe a God exists, that I am going along with the insane whack job bullshit. To me, insane whack job bullshit is buying into a God that murders babies, which was the first thing I hit this fucker with. After laughing at the idea that your science, as if science is just for me, that the rest of you can get fucked, science is just for me. Yeah, bullshit. But I then served him with Exodus chapter 11, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterward he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. I then mentioned to him, what was that one plague more that your God had in mind? Verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all firstborn of beasts. I literally laughed, did a whole bunch of ha ha ha. Your God's a baby killer or a baby murderer. I find it interesting that he wanted to try and assume that I am in favor of abortion. I had thought of myself as pro-choice up until the loony left in New York changed the law that abortion could be up to and including after birth. I had a hard stance that I took regarding when life began. That is what is on your birth certificate, date of birth. Once the loony left, made it possible in New York that abortion could be done after birth. That was where I had said, that's enough. You lost me, left. Liberals, you lost me right there. Because I had a very firm line that I could defend with all of the legal documents in our government, everything you put on an application, date of birth, date of birth, date of fucking birth. That's when your life begins. According to our government, your life begins at birth, not at conception, because there is an aspect of ships bringing cargo in. Because when a woman is in labor, we use the term of giving birth. When a ship is docked, it is called it's in its berth. When there's cargo on that ship, there must be a certificate of manifest detailing everything that is on that ship. Your birth certificate is your certificate of manifest. You are property. You're a commodity to the government. That is another reason why when somebody is of good stock, it is not talking about genetics. It is talking about, are they from a wealthy family? It is about money. What is your stock worth on the stock exchange? Jordan Maxwell does a great bit on this, breaking down what the words mean. The thing is, stupid jackasses like this don't fucking get it. All they see is, do you believe in fantasy bullshit? Or do you go along with insane bullshit? I don't go along with any bullshit. You can take your bullshit, shine it up real nice, and stick it straight up your candy ass. I go by evidence, not insane bullshit. Be it insane bullshit from the right, insane bullshit from the left. I don't give a fuck. If it's insane bullshit, I want it away from me. What I also find funny in this last post is where he says about you can cuss and boo-hoo and mock and bully all you want. I have not, surprisingly, in my post that you will see, very seldom did I use any profanity. And given the fact that he used the word bullshit, that has to be ignored from me because otherwise he would be a massive fucking hypocrite. Now, the aspect of can I use colorful adjectives? Abso-fucking-lutely. Did I with him? No. Which is really interesting. It makes me wonder what the fuck was he reading? The thing is, for him to go on and try to say about, I'll stick with the truth of God's word. This jackass wouldn't know the truth if it came up and bit him on his tiny dick. I've served him with multiple truths from his fucking Bible. The thing is, his last of only a fool says there is no God, that had me laughing. And I did hit him with, do you know who the first person was in the Bible to say there is no God? And I hit him with Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39, where it is written, see now, I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. I pointed out to him, so how does it feel to mock God? Because the first one in the Bible to say the words, there is no God, is the God of the Bible. So if you want to say, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. Christians, you're calling your God a fool. Think about that. If this God exists, how do you think it would feel about you, the Christian, calling the God of the Jews a fool, and then wanting to act as if your Jewish fake Messiah that didn't fulfill the criteria of Messiah pays the price for you when the Jewish God said, you can't fucking do that. That you have to be responsible and atone, pay for your own sins. You can't try to push it off on someone else, which I have quoted multiple times and even had Christians not understand Ezekiel 18:21, just couldn't get it through their fucking head because all they want to see is they don't have to be responsible for a fucking thing. They want to be able to slap around a wife, slap around a girlfriend, maybe cheat on a wife, cheat on a girlfriend, and be, oh, Jesus, forgive me, and that washes it all away. What they do to others, the harm they cause to others, they don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter to them what harm they cause. It is all about themselves. That is the way these Christians operate. They don't know their fucking Bible. That I make abundantly fucking clear in every goddamn video. These people, it doesn't matter if they're a preacher. I can show where preachers don't know their fucking Bible. They don't go by what is actually there. They want to change it to fit their agenda, which is exactly what jackasses like this want to do. And to try and accuse me of bullying when I've been on the defensive throughout this with him. And yes, I have gone on the offensive in my replies where I'm smacking him with his Bible. The Bible he wants to claim that he will stick with the truth of God's word, yet he will ignore book, chapter, and verse where I'm serving him Bible sandwiches. He will not address it. He will not even talk about it because he doesn't know it. He doesn't give a fuck about it. He only cares about his own sorry, self-centered ass, just like all Christians. They're only in it for themselves. You take away Jesus paying for their sins, they would drop Christianity like a hot brick. The only thing that has Christianity lasting in our modern age is the idea that you don't have to be responsible for what you do. You force Christians to be responsible for their actions, they will drop Jesus faster than you can blink. Because it's all about shirking their own personal responsibility. But yet they want to try and act self-righteous with someone that doesn't buy into their bullshit. Anyway, feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.